and welcome to Hands-On with Fujifilm GFX ETERNA 55. In this first chapter, we're going to introduce you to the physical layout of the camera and the accessories so you can get up and running quickly. On the bottom of the camera are multiple 3/8 inch and 1/4 20 screw threads, so it's very easy to put this on any tripod without additional accessories. Now the camera will come with this top handle that has multi-functions that will be reviewed later. It comes with this 5-inch LCD that has 2000 nits brightness and a mounting bracket. It also comes with a Fujifilm PL lens adapter that turns the native camera mount that is a G mount into PL. Also, it comes with an AC power adapter to change the AC current into DC 15 volt in for the back of the camera. Let's take a closer look. Attaching the top handle is a very simple, straightforward operation. There is a dovetail on the bottom of the handle and there is a recessed dovetail on the top of the camera. You simply put the dovetail in, slide this into the position you want, and there is a locking lever. There is a multi-pin port on the back of the camera that the connector cable goes into at about a 45-degree angle. The 5-inch LCD that comes with it has this pop-up lens hood to help shade it, and it has mounting holes on the side and on the bottom that are 1/4 20 with locator pins. The mounting bracket that comes with it has 1/4 20 on one end and has 3/8 inch on the other end. And so it's very simple to just attach that to the front of the handle if that's where you want it, or you could attach it to the top or along the various screw holes that are actually integrated on the camera body. Then there is a multi-pin connector cable that comes from the monitor. You open this door on the side of the camera and that connector simply pops into place on the top like that. To remove this, there is an eject lever that pops that cable out. On the back of the camera are multiple ins and outs. So there are outputs for SDI and HDMI video. There are B and C connectors for timecode and Genlock in. There's USB-C out and Ethernet port here as well. There's also a 3.5 millimeter input for audio and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. At the bottom is a 15 volt input for DC power for the included adapter or to run off a large block battery that might sit on the floor. The integrated V-mount for battery on the back is easily adapted from third-party adapters for what is called gold mount. So you simply take a V-mount battery, put it on there, and then the power switch is right here on the upper left side of the camera. On the front of the camera, there is a 2-pin 12-volt output. And then there is the native G-mount on the body. Now the reason it has the Fujifilm G-mount on there is because we have a wide range of optics that were developed for the GFX camera systems, such as this 55mm f1.7. There's an 80mm 1.7. There's a 110mm f2. And what all these lenses give you the option for is to do autofocus with GFX ETERNA 55 if you find you need it. Attaching a lens on here by way of G-mount is simple. You line up the red dots, rotate it 45 degrees, it clicks into place, and then you'll notice up here at the top is a locking lever. You simply push that lever over to the right and it cinches that in very, very tightly and removes any possibility of the lens wiggling on you. If you want to use standard cinema PL optics, ETERNA 55 does come with a PL lens adapter that goes onto the G-mount here. So that attaches onto the G-mount. You lock it into place, and then you'll notice there are 4 bolts on this retaining ring. Fujifilm does recommend that you use the 4 bolts and the retaining ring all the time for peace of mind and security. Should you want to use LPL mount lenses, there are third-party adapters that give you that option. Notice with the Fujifilm adapter, we do have pins here at the top for Cook Eye lens data. One of the really nice features about GFX ETERNA 55 is that on both sides, the menu screens are mirrored completely the same. Likewise, the button layout is similar on both sides as well. There is a lock switch on each side, so you can lock out the buttons and the access on the left side or the right side, or both, should you choose. One difference on the right side of the camera is this multi-pin output port. And that is to connect power and control for Fujinon Duvo lenses and also some other third-party lenses as well. On the left side of the camera are two doors. The top door is for one of our standard Fujifilm MPW235 camera batteries. Now, its purpose is to provide emergency backup power. So the MPW235 is always getting charged from whatever your primary power source, either the V-mount or a gold mount, or from the DC 15 volt in on the back. So what you will find that happens if, for some reason, in the middle of a take, you lose power or you lose track of the fact that your battery's been running low and the primary power suddenly goes out, the camera is going to save your clip, and then it will cut, and then it will go into standby mode. And it will stay in standby mode until the primary power source is reconnected. And then the camera will come back into normal operation within just a couple of seconds. That's an extremely handy feature, especially if you're in a rush situation. There is a special circumstance, however. Now, when you restart the camera without any external battery at all, only using the internal W235 battery, the camera will actually operate almost normally, except it won't give you any SDI or HDMI out. But it will allow you to record for short periods of time. So this can be extremely useful if you find yourself out in the field and you've completely run out of batteries, but there is a really important take that is essential for you to get before the day is over. The bottom door here is for media access. The bottom slot is CF Express Type B. The top one is for SD cards. There's a large record button here on the left side of the camera, and then it is also duplicated on the front of the camera as well. Now, there are 6 primary access buttons to get into the functions and the menu screen, the ones with the white dots. So in what we call the home screen, those 6 buttons are pre-configured and they cannot be changed, but they are the most common functions such as frames per second, ISO, shutter angle, the ND, and white balance. There is, however, a user button that takes you to another level, and those buttons then can be reprogrammed as you wish to get shortcuts to other functions. Now, speaking of functions, you'll notice there are function buttons here on the side of the LCD, and also on the right side. So all of these various function buttons can be programmed by you to call up things at will. There is right here to the left of the lens mount a selector for manual focus, autofocus. And again, for autofocus, that is very, very handy when you are using Fujinon GF lenses. Down here on the bottom left of the camera, if you're standing on the operator side, is a large knob that has multiple function selectors. There is an ND position and also iris, zoom, and focus. Those will be covered later. But that same large knob is also mirrored up top on the top handle. And then right here above the menu button is the playback button that gives you access to the various clips that you've pre-recorded so you can see them on the LCD or via SDI or HDMI out. Now on the top handle up here is a multifunction control knob. Here we have a zoom rocker that gives you zoom capabilities with the special GF power zoom lenses that we have available. There is this multi-directional control stick that allows you to move the autofocus point around when you use GF lenses and are doing autofocus. And then there is another start-stop button up here at the top and another programmable function button. Lastly, on the top handle, there is a hot shoe up here that is to be used with a third-party adapter that goes in there and allows you to adapt XLR audio inputs with the camera. Thank you for joining me. Come back for the next episode.